Greetings in the name of Jesus. I'm Pastor Janice Fareed Hardy of Fresh Fire International Ministries, and I'm coming to you with this message because sometimes we forget and we cannot afford to forget. And this is the message. You were born for this. You were born for this. So what is your this? What is your this? Okay. The Apostle Paul, he described his this as taking the mystery of God to the Gentiles, or taking basically the gospel, okay, and the mystery of God to non-Jews, all right? And your this can be different for everyone. For example, Mrs. Coretta Scott King, who was a brilliant and gifted woman, she said that her this, or her life's purpose, was to be the wife of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And even after he died, her this still lived on. Her God-given job, it continued, okay? Until her dying day, she fulfilled and did all within her power to fulfill her this, her assignment, which was to never let people forget who Dr. King was or what he did. She was born for her this. No one could do her this other than her, okay? So what is your this? What is your this? Okay. In the Bible, God found Gideon hiding out in his father's wine press, trying to conceal wheat from his people's oppressors. But you know something? Wherever we go, wherever we hide, God knows where we are. God found Gideon hiding out in a wine press. All right. In the Bible, we have Mary, who sat at Jesus's feet because although her society said she was made for the kitchen, her society said that her this was in the kitchen. Okay. But Mary got a revelation that her purpose, her this, was to stay close to Jesus and to get all the revelation he was pouring out. Her this did not match her culture, but her this pleased God. In 1999, in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, a washerwoman named Miss Osceola McCarty, she refused to die at the age of 91 until she knew her legacy was secure, that her legacy was in place. She left most of her lifetime savings to help financially needy students at the University of Southern Mississippi. She wanted to help them with their tuition. She wanted them to have what she could never have in her life because she had to permanently leave school when she was in the 6th grade because she had to take care of a sick aunt. And from there, she began taking in laundry in the area, washing and ironing people's clothes. And she did that until she was 85 or 86 years old when arthritis made her stop. Okay, that was the only reason she stopped. But in that lifetime, a customer paved the way for her to leave $150,000, and that's a lot of money today, and it was even more money for a washerwoman in Mississippi, uneducated, doing what we call a non-professional job back in the day, back in the 1980s and 90s, okay? She left $150,000, okay? She put it into a trust fund. They showed her how to set up a trust fund, okay, so that the students could be helped, all right? And since then, other people have contributed to that trust fund in order to keep it going. So 21 years since she started it, okay, it's still going. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Lives have been changed because an uneducated washerwoman kept walking into her this. Your divine this will always bless others, even if you can't imagine how or when it will bless others. So what is your this, okay? This, it's not a title or the backyard wash basin, or it's not even the White House or wherever your this will take you. God's this is a fire inside you that will keep troubling you until you surrender. In the Bible, Jeremiah said, we all know this verse, okay? Jeremiah 29. Jeremiah said, it's like fire shut up in my bones. He was talking about his this. And he, as many people in his time and many people in our time, he tried to get away from his this, but it would not let go. And your this is not going to let you go either. Okay? All right. So, how do I know that you were born for a this? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how. Okay? Because of the shadow of death that I know you have had to walk through to get to this point in your life, even if you're still going through it. I know that you have a this because of the circumstances, the struggles in your mind and your thoughts, the struggles in your soul and in your spirit. They have all pressured you forth to this point. Okay? It takes pressure to purify gold. I know you have a this because God created everything on this earth for a purpose, for a this, and that includes you. Okay? So what is your this? What is your this? How do you know, okay, what you were born for? How do you know what your this is? Mrs. King, okay, Gideon, Mary, Miss Osceola, Prophet Jeremiah, and I even mentioned the Apostle Paul and a host of others. They had no idea of what they were born for until they found themselves right in the middle of it. God has a way of surprising us. God is not going to tell us everything up front, okay? And we are never too young and we are never too old because God alone controls the timing, all right? Those individuals did not know until they kept doing what was in front of them to do at the moment, okay? Moment to moment. And then along the way, God turned on the light bulb and he stood with them in their fear, doubt, and frustration. I didn't say he took them out of it. I said he stood with them in their fear, in their doubt, in their frustration. And God does the same with you and with me. Your this is a walk of faith and continual obedience. I didn't say perfect obedience, but I said continual obedience to what? Okay, to what life keeps putting in front of you. Your this, okay, it is a walk of obedience, and everything along the way is a part of where God is taking you. God doesn't waste one step in your life. By all means. And let me say this, even if you think you have missed your this, you have not, because God cannot lie. God has put a this in you, and God is going to bring that this through no matter what, okay? So by all means, dream, plan, and all that good stuff. But be careful to not lock down God's unknown work in your life. Make room for God to surprise you. And don't give up on the journey. Don't be dismayed by the threatening wilderness you may face. And we all face a wilderness of some kind, sometime. God, even in the wilderness, even if we feel that we've gotten off the path, God is still navigating your way. God will never be mocked. Okay? God's this will be fulfilled in you because you were born for this. Don't let anyone or anything tell you differently, okay? Your very life is an assignment, and your very life is on assignment from the Most High God. You know, you've seen those signs on construction sites that read "Men at Work." Well, God is at work in you. So keep moving ahead in faith. And be sure, whatever, whenever, however, whatever, be sure to give God all the glory for it. No excuses. No excuses. I came here to give you this message. So I'm calling all the Corettas. I'm calling all the young Gideons. I'm calling all the Marys who buck their culture, okay? I'm calling all of the elderly Miss Osceolas. I'm calling all of you. I'm calling, as we say, all y'all, okay, to get up and to show up. Have no fear. God is with you. You know why? Because you were born for this. Okay. All right. So God bless you. And feel free to contact us through our website, which is www.ffiministries.com. Be blessed. Walk on with your bold self in your this. And we hope to see you next Wisdom Wednesday.